Yo, how's everyone doing? Welcome back for some more Forza Horizon 3. Today I'm sharing with you the 2009 Honda S2K, and there's honestly not too many Hondas that I actually like the look of, but this is probably my favorite Honda out there, to be honest, and I'm sure I'm also going to get mixed feedback on that because there's tons of people that love Hondas, but there's also plenty of people that hate Hondas, so in the comment section let me know, love or hate, but I like this car a lot. I think it's designed beautifully. The headlights, the taillights, the bumpers, I mean the wheels on it, everything about this car is very nicely designed, and I'm not sure why they don't make too many more Hondas that look something like this thing, but the inside's kind of plain, kind of boring. The doors look good, and also the seats, but besides that, I mean, the limited technology doesn't really bother me, but it just looks really plain overall, which isn't a huge deal. I mean, it's more about the performance, I think, when it comes to this car, but it is a little bit boring on the interior. But the weird thing is, why can't you pop the hood on this thing? You can't pop the hood and you can't pop the trunk, but guess what you can do here in the Forzavista, because I really wanted to see the motor on this thing. I mean, it's an awesome motor, and I was really looking forward to seeing it when I came in the Forzavista, but you can't do that, and what you actually can do, though, is take the roof off. Like, why can you take the roof off but not pop the hood? I mean, come on, Forza, why are you doing us like that? But I have to say, though, I really like this car, and I think it looks really cool with the roof off, but the problem is you can't even drive the car with the roof off. And if I could change one thing about this thing, I would just remove the spoiler. I think this thing looks really good without any spoiler, and that wing, it's okay. It's a little bit bigger than I like, but it's probably the biggest wing that I would ever like on a car. You should know by now that I do not like the big wings, but this one, I'll let it pass. It's good enough and it goes with the car, but why there is no option to remove it, I do not know. There really should be. And overall, this car, like I said, I love the looks of it, and it also sounds pretty good, but in terms of performance, it is at the bottom of the B class, but it's actually very good being at the bottom of the B class. I was playing on the second hardest difficulty in this race, and the Dravitars could not even touch me, and although it didn't feel super fast, I mean, we are at the bottom of the B class, this thing still felt very good to drive. The launch was very good, and yeah, you get a little bit of wheel spin in first gear, but after that, you have complete and full grip the entire time. Going around turns, it really doesn't matter. This thing is very grippy, which I really like about the car. So the handling is good, the cornering is good, and the grip overall is very good. And the braking statistically looks like it would be awful, but when I race the car, honestly, the braking feels completely fine. I'm not sure why the statistics make it look so bad, but the braking's good in this car and turns well, like I said, so overall the handling characteristics are very good, and the acceleration feels pretty good as well. The one thing I will say that I don't like is the gear ratios. I mean, you're in 5th gear going about 100 miles per hour. I mean, that's a little bit too many times that you have to shift before you even hit 100, but it still feels pretty good overall to drive, and it shifts kind of quick. I mean, I guess it's just average, but definitely took me some time to get used to the gearing ratios, just because I generally prefer longer gear ratios, but it does make sense because the car is slower. It's in the B class, so the gears shouldn't be quite as long because the car simply doesn't have quite as much top speed, but this thing does top out just under 160 miles per hour, which is actually pretty good for the bottom of the B class. And overall the car feels, I mean, it's not super fast, but it definitely does not feel slow either, even though we're in the B class. So overall, I really like this thing, and I think it's a ton of fun, and I really like it because I've been looking for some lower class cars, and I think I found a very good one right here. I'm definitely going to do either a B class or an A class tune for this thing, and I'm very excited to work on this thing because it's a lot of fun to drive, and I think upgrading it will make it awesome. I mean, this is a very light car to start with, and although it doesn't make too much torque, it only makes about 160 torque, it does make a very good amount of horsepower, so it's a little bit slow, I guess, bottom RPMs, you know, the lower RPMs, but higher RPMs, it does make a good amount of horsepower, so it can still pull pretty good, and it's just so much fun to drive for some reason. It's such a little car, and it's a really cool car to race as well. So let me know what you think of the Honda S2000, or aka the Honda S2K, but as always, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to y'all again very soon. Peace out.